Welcome to Listen to Iron Maiden, baby. I'm Ash from South Wales.
I'm Ante from New South Wales.
And we are feeling very good. Are you feeling good, Paul?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah! We're going to let this keep going. We just finished up Killers, but guess what? Yeah! We have to say bye-bye to Paul, though, sorry.
Yeah. That was depressing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yay. Anyway, guys, welcome to the podcast.
Yay.
See, Andy's still in the Paul mood, right?
Okay. I'm just going to get it out.
I know, exactly. Yeah. That is a great song.
Yeah.
So, I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan, and I'm here with Ante, who's just recently got into the band and is currently on a journey through time and space.
Ooh.
Listening.
What a journey.
That's right, listening to the band. We've just finished up listening to the debut album, plus Killers.
Yep.
And I do apologize for my voice. I do have a cold as we both live in Japan, and the temperature here seemingly just goes, let's be hot right now. And then 10 minutes later, let's be cold. Let's be hot again.
Definitely. Or just the transition from, what is it? Summer, autumn, winter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hate autumn and spring in Japan because it just doesn't make up its mind what it wants to be. Do you want to be hot or do you want to be cold?
When
Please.
it's right, it's so right, but it just doesn't know what it's doing.
It's annoying, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. Anyway, so Paul, the singer for the first two albums, we have to leave you for a bit.
Goodbye, Paul.
Bruce. Do you like Bruce?
I like Bruce. Hello, Bruce.
Yeah. So before we go into the third album titled The Number of the Beast, we have to have a huge recap, all right? So now, of course, my name is Ash, and I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan, of course. I met this guy called...
Hey.
So I just wanted you for that. So Ante really likes, of course, Maiden, right? But now we've caught him up on the first two albums with Paul, Iron Maiden, Killers, and Ante, tell me what do you think about those albums? In after listening to them for a couple of months now, what do you think?
I came into those fresh ears, really enjoyed them, and it's not like I had to listen to them, get them out of the way. Like they're part of the repertoire for me now.
Which do you think is better?
Out of those two?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I said a few episodes ago, like it was a bit of a hard choice, but you know what? I'm going with my gut in this one, how I feel. I like the first album better.
Me too. Yeah. I love the first album, but then I do love like Killers song. And
but Killers.
Yeah, that song is so good, Yeah, so... But they're both great to listen to. Very fun to listen to. Yeah. So before we move on, mate, we did get another email.
Ooh.
Mail, motherfucker.
So we got a guy from Denmark.
Hello.
His name is Michael Ruiz.
Yep.
Or Mikkel. He spelled it with just one E, so I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope it's Michael.
Okay. Yep.
Hi, guys. Thanks for a really good podcast about my all-time favorite band, Iron Maiden. I am from and live in Denmark.
Cool.
Any Denmark jokes?
I don't know.
Danish? I don't know. Nothing fun. Anyway, I've been listening to the podcast pretty much from the beginning, and I enjoy listening to the journey you're on. I got into Maiden myself around 86 or 87, just after Somewhere in Time came out, and I've been a big fan ever since. Somewhere in Time, mate, that album is just amazing.
When was that? When did that one get released?
I think it was like 86.
Oh, as you said.
Yeah, around that time, yeah. Currently, the tour they're on right now is the mix of the new album and this album, so it's fantastic.
Okay. Yeah.
So he had a couple of questions for us. Maiden are known for making longer songs, and especially after the reunion. What is your take on which song in general are better, the longer ones or the shorter ones? Now, of course, Ante, you haven't really caught up on the new stuff, right?
So I have to leave it with you.
Yeah, I'll give you my take of this, right?
Yeah.
So the thing with Iron Maiden, right, is that they were massive in the 80s. They went down in the 90s because Bruce was gone and, all this thing happened. They got back in year 2000, right? And when they got back, Bruce said, listen, we're not just being we're just going to play the old hits, whatever, like Las Vegas style,
Yeah.
Let's make new music. And that's what they've done. So they've already given us countless amazing albums, songs, whatever.
Right.
After year 2000, what they've done an album, they've toured the album, and then the next year they've done a greatest hits tour.
Yeah.
They've gone album, greatest hits, great. So they've been really fair and also being able to be creative as people.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
Right?
I'll give them that. Yeah.
I mean, I love Run to the Hills, but imagine having to play that every night for the, forever and
God,
ever.
yeah, yeah.
And that's why bands like Rolling Stones, no one cares about their hits. Sorry, their like new stuff, right? They only want to hear the hits, right? So Maiden have just gone totally the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So I love that they're being creative and doing whatever the hell they want, okay?
Mhm.
But I do think that they would benefit from having a producer or someone to help them out with it. It would be interesting to see Maiden with this producer or whatever,
yeah.
instead of doing everything by themselves. But I can't knock them
Mhm.
because they're still actively, as human beings, they're being creative and making
Yeah,
music, whatever.
yeah.
So I do love listening to the old stuff, the shorter songs, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the new stuff.
Mhm.
But when you hear like, the Number of the Beast
Yeah.
songs compared to now, the new ones have got like, a lot of emotion or whatever, but they don't have the fuck of the old stuff,
okay.
So it's a difficult one to think about.
Mhm.
And next one, he often said, we often talk about the Paul songs, Bruce songs, and Blaze songs.
Yeah.
That some songs are written for a specific singer and therefore better when they're sung by the right singer. In Paul's case, most of the songs were written long before he joined the band and therefore not written for him. So what is your take on it, and does it change your perspective on the two albums, and do they belong to Paul? Keep up the good work and up the irons, Mike Ruiz. So
well,
you've heard, of course, some Bruce songs, Bruce singing some of the Paul songs, right?
Yeah.
But you love Bruce, right?
I do. Yeah.
But now, as we go on forward, I think it's going to be interesting to hear you when you hear him singing,
Bruce singing
like Remember
Paul.
Tomorrow and things like that.
Ah, okay. Yeah. No, I get you. I'm looking forward to that.
It'll be, so for Anta, it's a wait and see, right?
Yeah.
But for me, all I care, I don't care that someone wrote it or whatever. All I care about is that which sounds good. And the truth is, for me, I like when Paul does his songs, no problem.
Yeah,
But sometimes I like when Bruce does them too. And
enough,
even
yeah.
Blaze was pretty good at some of the like Paul stuff, but like I said, it's they don't belong to anybody. They belong to the band. All right.
Yeah. You're right.
Paul left because he couldn't handle the job anymore. Bruce took over out of necessity.
They just weren't heavy enough. What?
Exactly. They're just not heavy enough. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Whatever reason he left, right? So they can't just go, well, we can't play those songs anymore. That was Paul's songs, They got to continue things going, You have to do that in any work of anything, artistic, music, your job. You can't just go, oh, Andy's left now. We got to stop the podcast. I mean, we pretty much would, but
Today's my last.
Yes.
Oh no, it's
You
not.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't blame them. It is what it is,
Exactly. Yeah.
It is what it is. They have to do the songs because that's part of the Maiden set list, So
Yeah.
it's a good question, but thank you very much.
No, that's awesome. Love it when we get emails. Actually, it's nice to know there are people out there listening.
Yeah, people from Denmark.
We're
which is cool,
communicating to the world. Denmark, right?
Yeah, Denmark. Yeah,
Hang on, Vikings. Danish had Vikings, didn't they?
They did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All those little Scandinavian parts where, when you hear them speaking, they sound like Denmark and Norway. When they emigrate to England for like 1 year, they lose their accent completely.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm a huge football fan, and a lot of like players from there. And when they come, they have a little accent.
Yeah.
After 1 year, they're gone. They just sound British.
Oh wow. Okay.
They essentially are our ancestors,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like, I think it's like in their neck or something.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Little drama thing I want to talk about with the vinyl.
Yeah.
Not drama, it's very funny. So I said that I'm going to buy all the vinyls that we cover on the show, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've bought the I Maiden original album, and I bought the Killers one with the misprint on it.
Yes.
And I uploaded a photo of us that we took together.
Yeah.
And I uploaded it to Reddit. And I thought it was funny to say, I titled it with like the two albums complete with the details of Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah.
And some guy commented with, actually, and I was like,
I love this.
yeah, it doesn't have the OBI.
It's the OB. Yeah.
The OB, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the hell that was. I'm a vinyl collector, but only Iron Maiden ones, but I'm not like a expert of it. Anyway, and I forgot about that. The Japanese ones come with the obi, right? The little sleeve on it. I don't have those. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, actually.
So you can track one down though, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can probably do that. So now in the future, I'm only looking for ones with that on it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because even like the new records, so I just bought a Japanese J-pop.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you saw the other day.
I saw the one. So, yeah.
And so that's a new vinyl from, I think had 2023 on it.
Yeah.
The Obi is on it.
Gotta
It's
have the
really a
OG, right?
Japanese
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah. So yeah, apologies to the guys out there. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't know.
Ashley.
Anyway, all right, mate. So something that must be stated right now, right, is that Maiden are a metal band, right?
Yeah.
Which means that the majority of their income comes from touring, right?
Mhm.
Radio play is very rare, and the best way to people hear them is from touring. You know, from listening to them. You know, sadly, you know, GTA Vice City wasn't out at the time in the early 80s. So,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people heard that soundtrack on that was massive. Like, so,
Yeah.
you know, like video game soundtracks now are huge, man.
Oh,
if you,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you can
yeah.
be on like FIFA or something like that, you know, you're in it. So from 1980, Maiden would have to tour, right?
Mhm.
So Paul Di'Anno is essentially fired because he can't keep up with the demands of touring, right? Same as the previous drummer, Doug Sampson.
Mhm.
Let's quickly take a look at Maiden's touring schedule up until the Number of the Beast, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to pop up a website. This website is called the IronMaidenCommentary.com, and it has all the tours they've ever done, right?
Mhm.
Now we're looking here from Iron Maiden 1980, right? The main thing to look at is the dates, like first, second, third, fifth,
Fifth,
sixth,
okay.
seventh. There's like now and again there's one date.
Yeah.
You know? So I know Paul gets a little bit of rap, whatever. Paul is a freak in nature, I think, right? Because
And look where hang on. So it's just like a day for travel.
exactly,
Like-
pretty much traveling, right? Around the UK.
Yeah.
So for 1980, they're touring only in the UK, right?
Mm.
And it's cool on this website. They literally have like photos of the tickets and stuff, you know?
Oh,
Pretty cool,
That's
right?
very cool. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Anyway, but if you look at that in 1980, 10th of April, Paul Di'Anno was ill, so Maiden played a full instrumental set. So he made it, how many gigs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gigs
Wait, this is just into the.
before he got, you know, he was quite ill.
How would you feel if you were at that concert, dude?
Will be amazing, yeah? But
It would, but just a full instrumental.
I mean, it would be, you wouldn't really know anything because you wouldn't know the songs really, you know, at such an early time.
Well, yeah, you got a point
You know
there.
what I mean? It would
Fair
just be,
enough.
most people would just be like, but then again, no, they wouldn't. People would know the songs because they're playing
1980. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they're doing a tour.
only in the
so-
local area. In their local area, people would know them, but apart
Mhm,
from that, they wouldn't really know them. But I mean, just seeing instrumental, I mean, I made instrumental is pretty cool. Like, so,
Yeah.
yeah. But look at this dates, man. So we're looking through 1980, May 23rd, 22nd. They're gigging to shit, right? There's a lot of gigs. They're playing, you know, completely up until like July,
Mhm.
until they get to July 19th, which is the first time they play in Finland. They went to Finland for a music festival.
Mhm.
And it says all the band members were pretty drunk and Dave Murray smashed his guitar. Brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah?
Nice. Just for Finland. Shout out to Juha.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I'm sure he was there, right?
Yeah.
I was there. All right. Now, then from August 24th, 1980, they are special guests to Kiss's Unmasked European tour. And they cancelled a few gigs in Portugal because of budgetary constraints. I wonder what that's about. Like, what do they spend the money on? You know? Very interesting, though, right? Then they played in Italy. They had some gigs cancelled in Italy. I can't remember what happened. Someone with Kiss. There were riots or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, if anyone knows
okay.
about these Italian gigs with Maiden, like I said, guys, remember Ante here is learning about the band, and I'm not a mega expert, you know. So if you know anything about what we're talking about, please email in. We'd love to
Fill us
hear it.
in. Feel
Yeah.
free to say, actually.
Actually, so they're playing in Italy and then back to the UK with Kiss. So they're on Kiss in Germany then from up until September. And look at these gigs, man. 17th, 18th, 20th, 21st. You know, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, this is a killer.
Look how much they're gigging, man. Even just looking at this is crazy.
Wow.
So they go into Switzerland, the Netherlands, Norway with Kiss, etc. Now, in 1980, 13th of October, Dennis Stratton's last concert with the band in Norway, before Denmark as well. No, Michael,
okay.
thank you. Now, then Adrian Smith comes in and is on TV. So look, you can see the jump, 13th of October to November 8th, my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
In between there, Adrian got up to scratch, was on TV with them. Then they go on the 1980 UK tour. So this was a couple of gigs from November 21st until 21st of December.
Yeah.
They played with Adrian's first couple of gigs. And we can see that Sheffield, 29th of 1980, it was cancelled because Paul had a throat infection.
Mm.
So far, it seems like he's only missed like 2 dates really from being sick. He's done a good job,
It's
so
not
far.
too bad.
Yeah, not bad considering what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, then
And what they're doing afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a couple. It's funny because in Bruce Dickinson's book, he talks about like drugs, whatever, but he's like, I didn't do anything. Okay, Bruce.
Okay,
all right.
Bruce.
Yeah. So the Killers World Tour, which starts in the UK in February 1981, they play pretty much like 21st, 23rd, 24th. They're playing all the time pretty much up until they go to France then from March. And even someday, look, they played twice, 2 shows in one day in Italy. One at 4 o'clock, one at 9 o'clock. It says a short set, but quite a lot. They're on tour in Europe, Germany, France. And then some in Netherlands. Look, cancelled due to poor ticket sales. Bloody hell.
Wow.
The Dutch, always letting us down. And then look, these are now, Steve mentioned that Paul missed a bunch of dates in Germany because he was sick. So the 4th, 5th, and 6th, they had to cancel in Germany because of Paul, right?
Right.
And then also they had to cancel pretty much the Swedish ones too, because actually the whole thing has been cancelled.
Wait, what are the dates? We got 4, 5,
So, yeah,
6,
4.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, 4th
10.
of May until 10th of May, they had a show in Germany, Sweden, and Norway, Denmark, all cancelled, and some are rescheduled. Then they go to Japan. Yay!
Hey.
So they play 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of May in Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya. And then back to
First time in Japan.
Yeah, first time in
Right.
Japan. Welcome to Japan, guys.
Hey.
Then they went on tour with Judas Priest. Now, up until this day, they still have a lot of beef with Judas Priest.
I was going to say.
Apparently, they went on when they went on tour with them in America. Apparently, Paul said some bullshit about them, or something, and then they heard it. Whatever. I don't know the details, but they don't really play together anymore. So I think maybe the beef is like management wise and not the band actually. Anyway, they went to America from June 3rd to 13th of June. So not that long really.
Yep.
And they played a couple of dates. Anyway, so they're doing pretty well, Then, back still in America, but look at these dates, 27, 28, 1st, 2nd, playing with Judas Priest in America, slogging it,
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of dates. They play with UFO. And then, they go back to Europe then, once again, playing crazy of dates, 1st, 6th, 8th, 9th, all in Europe, up until September 1981, 10th, which is Paul Di'Anno's last concert in Denmark. Oh, Michael Ruiz, there you go. Denmark's popping up a lot in this one, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. And then we strike on little Brucey. Brucey's in the band.
Hello, Bruce. Look at
Yeah.
those dates, though.
Crazy,
man. Like
right?
they're really
Yeah.
slugging it.
But that's what they did the whole time of the band is playing
If
live,
you're playing live and really giving a good show,
Yes. Yeah.
that's got to take it out of you, man.
It does. And this is why Maiden have replaced a lot of guys, because it's nothing to do with them being bad people. It's just it is difficult to be an Iron Maiden.
Yeah, obviously.
Right? It is hard, man. It's hard, Now, anyway, so Dennis Stratton, right, who joined the band. Now, I read a little interview with him because someone asked him about whether he was fired by the band or by the management. So, and I quote, so he says basically, it's a combination of different things. When I joined the band, I gave one of my first interviews and I told the journalist that I was sorry not to be able to answer some of his questions because I didn't know Maiden very well yet. And I wasn't a diehard fan of the music. Steve interrupted the interview and told me that I couldn't say things like that. I quickly realized who was the boss. So Dennis Stratton immediately off to a wrong foot, oh, welcome to the band. Are you big into them? I don't really know them that well, and not really. Like, okay, so that's why I love Dennis. He's so like honest and just like, no, I didn't like it, Anyway, so then during the Metal for Mothers tour with Praying Mantis, Paul Di'Anno started acting like a rock star. He demanded that he had his own dressing room and didn't want to talk to anyone.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Paul.
Yeah. So basically he goes on about why he got kicked off, but anyway, him saying shit about Paul Di'Anno there.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So anyway, Dennis leaves, and thank you very much, Dennis Stratton. Love your work on the band. And he also has a guitar sponsorship with Caparison Guitars. Do you know them?
No, where are they from?
They're this Japanese British make.
Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing. I used to have a bass. I sold it because I wasn't using it very much, but the quality are amazing.
I'm just as soon as you said code between British and Japan, I'm
Japanese,
like,
British mix.
that sounds good.
Really good. Lovely guitar. Expensive, but really, really nice. Yeah.
what
Comparison.
type of range are we looking at?
I mean, I don't know. In Japanese yen, like, from 300,000 up, you know.
Okay, yeah,
Quite expensive. Killswitch Engage, who are Untold, Iron Maiden now, they all use Comparison too.
Okay.
Lovely guitars,
right.
very nice. Yeah. And he's got a sponsorship. On the flip side of that, I also found a Paul Diano interview where he talks about the Kiss tour.
Mhm.
So they said to him, did you enjoy it? Blah, blah, blah. He says, the guys from Kiss were wonderful, especially Gene Simmons, who was looking after my money, which isn't exactly my strong point. In fact, he was keeping my money and was giving me the strict minimum when I really needed it, which prevented me from blowing it on rubbish. Gene has treated me like a son. He taught me what to do and what not to do. We started the tour as support for Kiss, and all of a sudden we became very, very popular. So they then asked him, how do you feel about Adrian Smith replacing Dennis? He says, to be completely honest, I think that it's impossible to compare Adrian and Dennis. I don't want to show any disrespect to Den because I really like him, but I never thought he was a good guitarist. I even thought that with such limited abilities, he's been really lucky to be in Maiden. Mostly that he wasn't that keen on metal. So basically,
that you're lucky to be.
Yeah, pre-Maiden, Dennis is saying that Paul was a bloody diva, and Dennis is saying that Paul was a bloody shit guitar player, which is hilarious, isn't it?
Oh man.
Yeah. So he gave a bit, he even said like he's anti-metal, like he doesn't like metal, and like, even now he spends his time just playing Oasis covers in pubs and stuff, Fucking hell though. Like, it could be bad blood. I mean, people say shit about each other when they're angry,
Yeah.
Have you ever said something, has anyone said anything crazy about you that you were like, what the fuck?
Wow. Well, I'm on my second marriage, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think I'll bring up anything there. Just so
I just
went, oh, hang on, yeah.
Yeah, right. I had one, this ex-girlfriend of mine broke up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I saw a couple of years later, I met some guys who knew her, and they were like, actually, can I ask you a question? I was like, what? Do you like getting your eyeball licked? I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, oh, she told us that you like getting your eyeball licked. I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
Like, that was so weird that it's weird. It's too weird to make up that you would believe it, right? But I can quite frankly say, honestly, right now, guys, that I do not like getting my eyeball licked.
I was about to actually.
I didn't even get what that is about. In fact, I can't even wear contacts because I can't stand touching my eye.
I could just imagine a tongue.
Yeah, but she's so bitter that she said
just
that about
make
me.
Shit up.
She could have said anything, but she said he likes getting his eyeball licked. I was just really odd thing. Yeah. Anyway, let's
out of all things to say.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about what your ex-wife said about you.
No. I'm not even going to go there, man. Let's say there was many times where sometimes like emails would come and I would reply, and then, you know what? I'm not going to click send.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just
take the break, man. Do not do that anyway.
Because you know what? Sometimes the silence and being conserved, it stings just as much back.
Be careful, my friend. It's
careful,
dangerous.
people.
Yeah.
Don't talk shit about people.
Yeah.
Unless it's true. Actually, you know what? Just don't be dicks. Anyway.
I don't like my bloody eyeball licked, okay?
Come on, guy.
Anyway.
Hey, relax, guy.
Sorry. My favorite thing in the world is Saddam Hussein from bloody South Park. Anyway,
back to the music.
I haven't heard that one for a while, I think. Or has it been a while? I don't know.
It's been a while. We haven't been talking about music a lot, right, have we? Let's play a clip.
Maiden all wore a boy band style uniform based on a hybrid, typical metal fan. In the case of Steve Harris, it didn't matter because he always wore tight jeans, white trainers and a leather jacket. I think Mr. Smallwood wanted to make sure there were no backsliders who might head down the slippery slope to Hawaiian shirts, or in my case, red floppy hats. Samson termed it their cunt kit, as in, morning Clive, I see you have your cunt kit on.
The cunt kit. So it's funny because the Dennis Stratton interview, he does actually mention about this. So he said that when Den was in the band, like, he really pissed off Steve during the Kiss tour. When in Spain he started complaining they had to wear denim and leather. He used to call it the cunt kit. Steve was doing his nutting, and I think this is when he realized he had to get rid of him. So like the cunt kit is basically that outfit, and it's funny because later on, then what's his name? The band Samson.
Yeah.
So which is Bruce's band. They talk about that in the cunt kit. So
Mhm.
like wearing. It's funny because like I don't know why they call it that because it's quite casual, isn't it? Just a leather jacket and it's not that bad. I don't think it's very bad to wear that anyway.
Denim
Oh,
and leather.
oh looks like Ante's got his cunt kit on.
So you got your cunt kit on.
It's quite funny, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really funny. But yeah, so yeah.
New singer, reporting for duty, Sir. Smallwood was unimpressed. Go and get some fucking clothes, you look like a roadie. I asked Clive how I could possibly contrive to look like a cunt.
So that's Bruce Dickinson talking about, when he joined the band. So it goes
I
back,
love
see,
it.
because Bruce was in Samson and also Clive Burr was also in Samson. And it was the band Samson who called it the cunt kit.
Yeah.
As he said, in the band. So of course, so Clive knew the phrase and Dennis, they all knew each other, right? So
Yeah.
they just called it the cunt kit,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it's very funny. I just thought that was really hilarious. Because, no matter what you think, you do have to have an image, right? And
Yeah.
and Dennis Stratton always looked a little different to the other guys. He was always wearing
Yeah.
something different, right? Yeah. So also Paul, before we say goodbye to Paul, they did ask him about, do you regret, leaving Maiden? And he said that, he was totally irresponsible. And he said that, he was burned out on the end of his tether. And he said he also felt invincible. I was the voice and front man of the metal band that was becoming the most important on the planet. At the time of Split, I couldn't have imagined that somebody would have the right abilities to replace me at the time. I was out of my head and I was painfully becoming aware that there was another excellent metal vocalist, Bruce Dickinson. I've always considered that Bruce didn't sing my songs as well as I did, but I have to admit that he was and still remains a gigantic singer, and there's no doubt that he was the best vocalist Maiden could ever find. My style was far too aggressive for the band, and Bruce's softer, more operatic voice fitted perfectly with the direction Steve wanted to go. I think that the band's first album with Dickinson, Number of the Beast, is fantastic, and that nobody else could have done what he did with Iron Maiden since the release of this record, in a style that's his very own. Yeah, I mean, listen, Paul has flip-flops over the years about his opinion, but,
Right.
but I can understand, he just gets wound up about being compared to Bruce all the time, so no one gets fucking pissed off about it.
Yeah.
But he's not saying that Bruce is a dickhead or whatever, he just says he's not my cup of tea, but he's amazing for, Maiden.
Yeah.
And no matter what you say, he said that they were mates, whatever, but he did say this too, right?
Mhm.
They said, do you remember the first time you met Bruce? And he said, yeah. The first time I saw Bruce, he was singing with Samson. And the last time I met him, he was singing with Samson at Reading Festival. Now, we know that
Yeah.
Paul, they went to see Bruce singing at the Reading Festival. And in my mind, I was thought that Steve and Rod, the manager, went to see him by themselves. But apparently maybe everyone went. That's even
By the
more
looks of it,
awkward.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing like Paul was backstage somewhere out of his head and they're like tapping up Bruce.
It's like, Bruce, where's Paul? And he's, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So-
It's even more awkward, right?
Yeah.
So now, because I in my mind it was always that Steve and they went privately because they were in France at the time of doing the when Samson were doing the Reading Festival.
Yeah.
But seemingly they all went together. But I mean, I guess it would be better because if let's all go to watch Reading, because then it's not as like dodgy, right?
Right.
Because if we said, me and Steve are popping out for a couple of days. Oh, where are you going, lads? Nowhere. we're not looking for another singer, So
Yeah.
I understand. But anyway, new singer, right? So Paul is out, Bruce is in, and they go to Italy to play some warm-up shows with Bruce, right? And it's funny because like in my mind I'm like, they went to Italy because it's out of the way of the press or whatever. And
Well,
like you can just
do a
imagine,
few quiet shows
yeah,
on the
right.
side.
And then you can see some Iron Maiden, like some guy in Italy sees Iron Maiden and then flies to America, and it's just like, hey, I saw the Iron Maiden. They got to do a singer. His name is Bruce, and I was like, no. Paul's a singer,
Paul's
mate, No, mamma mia, I saw it's a Bruce. You like accents? Can you do an Italian accent? Can
I do an
Can you do an
Italian
Italian accent of a fan that saw Bruce singing, Maiden singing with Bruce?
I'd say
and they're
that
trying
sound
to
the same
convince
like you, like a really bad Super Mario. Hey, who's this? Where's the Paul?
But I don't know. Where's the ball?
It's
Who's
Iron
this
Maiden
guy?
concert. Hey, ball. Where's the ball?
Using not the ball.
It's not the ball. Someone called the Bruce.
But anyway, so not back to the music.
No.
Yeah, but seriously, it is hilarious that they did these warm-up shows in Italy because, you know, they could get away with it away from the main crowd, which is because at this time they were demoing basically the Number of the Beast songs
Oh,
and seeing the
okay.
reaction of them, you know. So
Oh, lucky that it wasn't the internet age then, right?
no, and right, they even played a secret show. They came back to England.
Yeah.
They played a show called not as Iron Maiden, as Genghis Khan in the old Ruskin Arm, and that concert is on YouTube. You can listen to them.
okay.
Bruce's first concert in England with them, and they're playing the show, and it is hilarious because they played "Run to the Hills" for the first time.
Yeah.
"Hallowed Be the Name" for the first time. These other songs, and these people in the crowd are watching, but they've been so used to Paul, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a change. How did it sound?
It sounds really good, but listen to this. Ready? Sanctuary. All right. So Bruce clearly is trying to impress there.
He is, isn't he?
Sanctuary from the Lord. But you can see what I mean, though, right?
Yeah,
If you've been
yeah.
listening to Paul, Ruff, and then you Bruce, it would be quite jarring, I think, right?
Yeah.
I listened to the whole concert, right? They played "Run to the Hills," right? And after it, some guy goes, "Bollocks!" I thought I had the clip. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Bollocks.
Yeah,
Right, this is again, ready? So they just stop singing "Run to the Hills." I fucking love that shit. Because I could see it. Like, you know, they just played the "Run to the Hills" is a huge jump.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
run to that was Paul. Bollocks.
Hey, not everybody likes it. That guy didn't.
It's hilarious, right?
That's awesome.
But yeah, what a gig to be there. If anyone was actually there, though, I would love to hear about them because it's fantastic, right?
If you were the bollocks guy, we'd love to hear
Yeah,
from it.
did you shout it? You know, bollocks. You know? Yeah. Anyway, mate. So let's continue, right? So let's listen to Paul leaving.
To keep Paul in the group at that point probably would have been a recipe for disaster.
But it was a worry to actually change singers at that point because things were really taking off for us. And, you know, but I think if we hadn't changed, it would have been even worse. You know, like another album or so down the line, it would have been a lot worse. So I think the timing was probably the right thing to do.
Exactly. It was the right time, and it's Bruce's time. Brucey Bruce.
No, it didn't get any better really from that, like as in timing wise. When you
Right.
think 2 albums,
Yeah.
yeah,
Two
Yeah.
albums Paul did, right? And, you know, it's a huge decision to change a singer, man, no matter what you do.
massive.
We talked about it already.
massive, Yep.
The last episode, we talked about Bruce joining the band, you know. Now, this is all about the Number of the Beast album, right? Now, of course, this album is so big, right, that we're probably talking about one song today, like, because there's so much to talk about. But I got into the band way after they were huge, right? Same as you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't imagine that what it was like at the time, hearing Killers and then Number of the Beast comes out. And because the first single was Run to the Hills, right?
Right.
So,
Sorry, the guy's back in my head.
right. Bollocks!
Go on, yeah.
We have to say that every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, okay, let's continue, right?
They'd worked with Martin Birch, the producer, on Killers, and I think it was an introduction for both of them.
And by the time we did Beast, that was it really. He became our sort of full-time producer, and we didn't really think about using anyone else, and we used him for quite a few albums, basically till he retired.
There was a certain excitement on Number of the Beast because we all felt, me especially, that there was something special about that album. Just the way it was coming together, the songs, the addition of Bruce, the extra scope that we had to work with. There was a certain feeling on that album that it was something special.
basically, by the time we come to do the first couple of albums, we've used all the material from that period really, and some we'd written in that time. So the time we come to do Number of the Beast, we had no material left.
It was a fresh start writing-wise, and it was a different battery of songwriters.
That's right. They've used up all the material from the previous years, new songs, new ideas. And in the background of that, then they had Children of the Dam playing. I hate it because every time I hear Children of the Dam, I just want to sing. It's the worst one.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs where I'm like, all right, I got to sing. Martin Birch is the producer. He's going to be the producer for a while now. And, you know, he's happy too because, man, Bruce's voice with the Maiden is like, oh, yes.
It really all came right at the right time, right?
Good
Everything
timing.
was brand new.
It's all
the
good
old
timing,
material was all used. We got a
Exactly.
new singer.
Let's crack on, you know. But like, it's such a huge difference, you know, to jump from Paul to Bruce, because most people go Bruce, love Bruce. Oh, let's just check out the old stuff. Oh, this is pretty good too.
Yeah.
And they like the Paul stuff too. But in my mind, the comparison between, I don't want to compare them at all. All we have to acknowledge is that Bruce's voice at this point in his life is freakishly good.
Yeah.
We just heard him singing, like he sings this key with ease as well. Like he's literally like, as though it's like he's on first gear, second gear, and he can go fifth.
You're going to say he belts them out, but no, not even that for him. It's just,
It's mad. Oh, talking about Ante, so... I got one for me too, right? So this is old radio show I was listening to. No, it's one for me.
All right, let's go to Ashley. Ashley!
I like
It's pretty good,
that
right?
one,
Yeah, so it's from this show called Opie and Anthony, which I'm a fan of. It's like the shock jock radio stuff. I just like listening to the old episodes because it's really fun. Anyway, so luckily the new singer already likes you.
At that time, I remember standing there going, oh, you know, if I was singing for that band, we could do something really, really cool.
Oh, yes, you could, Bruce. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, man. As a singer, right? It is weird because, like, looking at a band thinking, oh, I wish I could be singing for them. Oh, I could be singing for them. That would be good, you know? Because, you know, but for it to happen is amazing, you know? It's fantastic. Yeah, so Bruce is in the band. Anyway, so let's look at the details of the album, right? So this album is on EMI Records, released on March 29th, 1982 in the UK. The track list is Invaders, 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Children of the Damned, 4 minutes and 36 seconds. The Prisoner, 6 minutes and 3 seconds. 22 Acacia Avenue, 6 minutes and 38 seconds. In my mind, those two songs are way shorter than the other two. But they do have like intros and stuff.
Yeah.
The Number of the Beast, 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Run to the Hills, 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Gangland, 3 minutes 49, and Hallowed Be Thy Name, 7 minutes and 13 seconds. A total playing time of 40 minutes and 28.
How long was Run to the Hills?
3 minutes 54.
Bollocks! Sorry.
Bollocks! So it's funny because I'm sure that people do that to the new stuff now when they play the new stuff. Anyway, the lineup was Bruce Dickinson on vocals, Steve Harris on bass, not bass and vocals, Steve. Stop putting vocals, you can't sing. Dave Murray on lead rhythm guitar, Adrian Smith on lead rhythm guitar, and Clive Burr on drums. What a lineup. Produced and engineered by Martin Farmer Birch, called as Farmer because his Range Rover had like straw or something on it. British people love giving nicknames to people all the time. It's just a weird thing, you know. I'm sure Australians do too. Right? Yeah. Second engineer was Nigel It Was Working Yesterday Hewitt Green. So this is all from the show notes of the album, right? So his name is actually Nigel Green, he actually goes on to be a producer, but they called him Hewitt for some reason. Hewitt? I don't know why. Recording and mixed at Battery Studios in London, and the artwork is by Derek Riggs again. So let's look at what Derek Riggs said about this artwork. So I'm looking at, this is from his personal little blog that he had up, which is very, very cool. So he says, I finally got a copy good enough to work on. So this is from his blog, which he uploaded. Now, the problem with this album, right, is that the printers have always fucked up the colors. What we're looking at right now, the sky is black, but on all the prints that have come out, it's always been kind of bluey color, the background.
I think you're right.
But
I'm going to have another look at mine now.
It's not supposed to be like that, So he says, the colors have never been right on any released version. The printers always got the colors wrong, and over time, the paints faded as well.
Fuck you, printers.
Yeah. Oh, you're in the printing business, aren't you?
Well, a little bit different, but
Yeah.
I have a printer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said that basically the devil figure was supposed to be a deformed and twisted looking, but I didn't have enough time to work it out. So it just looks a bit like bad anatomy. So I know what he means. It's kind of like the legs, or is it? I like the way, I love the devil on the pose, you know.
I know what he's saying, but it's one of those things that I think you'd have to really look at it for a
because he's so
while.
close to it.
Right?
Yeah, you wouldn't pick it up on it, you know.
Yeah. And you're always your worst critic. You're your own worst critic.
Always your worst critic. That's right. And he said this was done in a rush over a weekend for 2 days and 2 nights without sleep for the Number of the Beast first single. So this was supposed to be
great rush.
I know. Look at how good it is, right?
You know what? Even just, I've never really looked at it because I'm looking at it on a big screen now. You go further up, like just the break through the sky there.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Like
amazing.
Just that little,
beautiful, right? Yeah. So in the top corner, it's got the moon, and I think it's got like the
like birds, or is it
some kind of birds or something?
Yeah.
You know, I like to think it's a precursor of the next album, Flight of Icarus. You know, ooh,
Iron Maiden lore. It's connected.
Yeah, and I love like the lightning, but it looks like it's like a crack on the album. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know? So the album cover is a big Eddie with fire in his hand. I love the fire in his hands. It's brilliant. It's just a great touch. He's got the devil on a puppet, and then the puppet's got a little Eddie on a puppet.
The devil thinks he's controlling Eddie.
Who's controlling who? That's right. That's right.
Derek did a fantastic job. He made it very boshy and in a way with the small figures. He brought it in as the cover for Purgatory, and we looked at it, it's much too good. We'll keep that for the next album. First thing you might want to note, if you can see this well, is the colours. This is actually a dark and a grey sky. The album, when it came out, was a blue sky and a light blue sky, and basically looked crap, because EMI managed at the factory to complete screw up the printing process.
I suppose the idea is, you know, if you thought the devil was bad, you know, he's not as bad as Eddie, you know.
Who's manipulating who? That is the question.
Ooh. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So this is a classic album cover. No matter what you think about this album, that album. Now, if you were a fan before, if you walked past the vinyl shop, record shop, and saw that, like, what is that? You know,
it's my first vinyl that I bought from Iron Maiden.
Really?
Yeah.
I see. And you've been listening to it on the vinyl, right?
Yep. I'll be reviewing this one on vinyl, but yeah.
Classic, mate. Classic. So one of the best things about this album too is that in I think around 2002 they did a documentary on, it's called Classic Albums, where they broke down the whole album. It's fantastic. It's on YouTube. You can watch it a little bit. It's cut up in pieces. I'll send it to you later to watch, but it is very, very good.
Cool.
And a lot of the clips we're going to use for that is going to be for this album will be from that.
All right, nice.
Literally from the horse's mouth, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the album cover, man, was supposed to be for Purgatory, right? But don't waste it on a single, man. Use it for the album. It is a classic, you know. Yeah. So Bruce is in the band. Album is recorded, and they're on tour called The Beast on the Road in the UK, and that's when they filmed the Run to the Hills video, and that's when the single is released. Basically, during the single time as well, Steve and Bruce are basically fighting, you know, about the whole thing, whatever.
Fallbacks.
It is quite funny. And the album is released on March 22nd, 1982, while they're on tour in France. And, you know, there's a lot to get through with this album, guys. You know, everyone knows Number of the Beast. If even like, you know, casual metal fans know the album. Now, there's a lot to talk about with each song because so much is history and things like that to go through. But let's just go track by track as best we can and just talk about what we think, right? So anyway.
Due to go on a TV show once, and the presenter looked at the album cover, and we watched In the Wings as she recoiled in horror, and they chucked us out. I mean, people would react.
Yeah, so the album is called The Number of the Beast, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but where I grew up in the UK, after World War II, the Christianity community went very slowly away.
Yeah.
Because people were like, who gives a shit? I'm not wasting my life bloody waiting to get married before I do it. I'm going to live my life to the fullest.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about where you're from. I mean, Croatia.
I grew up in a Croatian community. We're very Catholic.
There we go.
Based,
like the Americans, right? America's still quite religious, whatever. Now, in the UK, most people are like, yeah, Number of the Beast, that's kind of cool. That's like a monster movie, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Americans like, oh my God, what is this?
It's the devil.
Right? Now, what's funny too, right, is that in that documentary I talked about, the classic album, guess who's the guest on the album talking about it?
Ooh.
From a band you like.
Oh, do I really, really like him?
Yeah, yeah. We've talked about him a few times.
Oh, God.
He's
Memory's
Ginger.
really bad. Oh, God.
He's got a terrible singing voice.
How can I forget?
He used to be a Metallica, but he got kicked out.
Mr. Mustaine.
Dave Mustaine
Dave
is in the
Mustaine,
documentary.
yeah.
I thought it was cool because you like them, right?
Yeah,
So you can watch
yep.
that later. But basically, yeah, the first track is called Okay. Can we carry on? Is it okay? Finally, the Norsemen are back.
They've been redeemed. They have been redeemed.
Run to the Hills has been released.
Mhm.
A lot of people have heard the single, but some people just bought the album without hearing the single. They put on the vinyl, and that's the first thing they hear.
That's pretty much how my day started today at work.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been listening over and over and over and over. And I know the song very, very well anyway, but Ante, what does Ante think?
Thank you. Dude. First track. Yeah. That's what you expect from a first track. It's
That's
a nice
right.
punch in the face.
It is, right?
And that intro, dun, 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 that would have been enough. That little bass is that cherry on top, man. For me, it is, man.
I know.
Like,
Steve's little
yeah.
bassy, little cheeky little licks are fantastic, aren't they?
Yep.
I do love them. Steve, I do love them.
Steve, I know you're there, standing in the center of the stage.
I
I can
know.
hear you. Yeah. And I like that the Norsemen have been redeemed.
Yeah. What do you think of Bruce on the album? You know, on this song, sorry, because this is like basically his first, track on the album. I mean, imagine going from Killers, and then you listen to this.
Yeah, you're right. It's a big change,
So
right?
do you actually like Bruce's voice? Like, because I mean, it's weird because I don't recommend people because Bruce's voice is really hit or miss for people. You either love it or you hate it.
Which makes sense because, you have people that have a voice. There's a lot of bands out there that sound very similar.
Yeah.
But you hear Bruce, you're listening to Bruce.
100%, right?
So if you like it, you like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
I just love listening to Bruce. Even his solo stuff, which sometimes I'm not finding the music, but just love listening to him sing. I just like Bruce Dickinson singing, and that's how much it is. Okay, sounds good. So,
All right, let's go to Ashley. Ashley.
so
it's very good.
Now, it does sound very different, this song, right? Now, but because of Twilight Zone, I would say that it's not actually that far away. Like Twilight Zone, which was the single they released, I think it's not similar to this song, but it's in the same vein.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's not like a huge jump musically since that song. So I think that kind of might have helped in a way because before, a lot of the Maiden songs were either really like, just punky-ish or whatever.
Right.
Whereas
right.
Twilight Zone is more Number of the Beastie, I think,
Yeah.
So I think it was a good stopgap for people who like that song to jump onto this album then, so that it wasn't quite so jarring to hear, like,
I think you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm a big fan of this song, right? But like,
there's a but.
No, it's not. It's not a huge but, right? No, of course, Invasion, which was the song they did about the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
This is totally redeemed itself. This is a much better song. But can we just listen to this a second?
Yeah.
Ante do do Ash do do. Do you like that?
I'm a bit iffy on it.
I'm not a fan.
Don't hate it.
Yeah, this
But
is
it's
this is a huge thing in the community, right? Everyone says that, and basically, Invaders is a great song. Chorus is terrible, but it does have this, Oh my God, Stand Your Ground. See, I think this song is awesome. I love the song. The chorus is a bit funny because it seems to be like out of the keys, right?
It doesn't really fit into the feel of the song. Kind of just got like, I don't know. Where are we now?
Yeah. So it's just do 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 do. It's like, how are you, Ante? Do 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 do. How are you? Do 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 do. I don't know. It's not bad enough because Bruce is awesome on this song, man. Right? Because when he kicks in, it is just classic. Like, because I'm pretty sure that chorus is not in the right key anyway. But yeah, but big memories of this song. I am a musician, and my main instrument was always bass, right? And when I got into Iron Maiden, I was thought, oh, I want to play these songs, right?
Yeah.
This song is really fast.
Yeah.
And if you try to play this song on bass with fingers, it is humbling.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can play that. Okay, so I can play do 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 do. It's not that hard to play, but when you try and play at the speed that he's playing it, it is quite tricky.
Yeah.
That's why I really think Maiden is a great band for people who are learning to play guitar or bass, whatever, because it's challenging, but not so challenging that it's impossible.
I totally agree.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Try and play Invaders on your fingers on the bass as Steve is playing it flat out. It's like playing Master of Puppets. It's fucking
yeah.
It'll kill your wrist, man. It's very, very, it sounds easy. It is not, it's not hard to play.
You're right, Nate.
You know?
It sounds a lot easier than...
It's not that hard to play, but it's just hard to play, you know? But man, what a punch in the face to kick you off, right? You know? But it reminds me of the chorus to the do 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 do.
Yeah.
So talking to Bond, I know I'm in a big Bond phase at the moment.
We're still in November, right?
Yeah,
So...
November, that's right. One of my favorite films is The Man with the Golden Gun, which has Christopher Lee in it. Now they do this stunt in the film, right? Which was so good that basically they had to like, no one's gonna believe it. We got to put a fucking sound effect on
That's
it.
one thing Bond was known for the stunts.
Yeah, but this stunt is
Which
a real
one
stunt.
was it?
So I'm gonna play the clip, right? So guys, this is when Bond is chasing Scaramanga and he does a stunt on a car. Let's listen. Okay, Bond is about to jump over this bridge, right?
Yeah, I know.
Now listen to this sound effect that they put on it.
You're not thinking that. I sure am.
I sure am, boy. JJ Pepper.
Out of Evil Knievel.
Like, what the hell is that?
It's Invaders.
It's one of those
Why?
things. What's that little thing? You know what I mean? Like that little pipe.
Slide whistle?
Yeah, slide whistle. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. And the chorus is not that strong anyway. Invaders. Raping.
That's what when I was like listening to it,
it doesn't go, you know. Invaders. Pillaging. It doesn't like they're all happy all of a sudden, you know.
I think are they trying to take the edge off the lyrics?
Maybe, yeah. Like, guys, we can't just talk about raping anymore. We gotta,
yeah, make it sound happy.
Yeah, it is the Vikings though. Okay, yeah, it's like it turns into like Asterix the Gaul or something halfway through. Like, just do you know Asterix?
Yeah,
Guys, I do Asterix. It's a French comic book about like the Gauls like fighting the Romans. It's like insanely violent, but it's all like, yeah, I just beat up 1,000 Romans, whatever, but I eat a wild boar, but. It's all fun. Pillaging. Invaders. Oh my god. I mean, it's an exaggeration to say it ruins something. It doesn't, because Bruce is awesome. Because we just played, the whole song Invaders is classic, man. But it's just funny, man, with
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now that's for me. That's the only bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it doesn't kill it for me still, but it's a bit like.
It's fast though, man. It's really, really fast. Yeah. Because even like, let me put my bass. Oh yeah, I can hear that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just using a pick because it's easy to hear, But the speed he's playing. Let me try and play it on with it. Ready?
Yeah.
It's quite really fast, and even that, it's terrible. It's so fun to play.
Yeah.
And really get your chops up. But it's really fast, man.
Yeah.
I forgot how fast it was, like, but it's very, very good. Anyway, so guys, we've basically spent this episode now just prepping the album. This is what's happened up until now. Bruce is in the band. Listen to Invaders. Invaders kicks ass, man. It is a great song. I love it. But the chorus is a bit weak.
Yep.
And don't worry, because it just gets better from here.
I hope so.
Oh, you will, mate. You will.
Well, I know the album. I know it does, man.
Come on, guy.
Come on, guy. Like everyone says, do you like Invaders? Yeah, but I don't like the chorus.
Hey, relax, guy.
I'm relaxing. Huh? Anyway, so I'm a huge fan of this song, Invaders. Huge energy. Bruce is awesome. Just sailing over the song. His voice is just insane. And before we talk about it, guys, Paul, Bruce, whatever, whoever you like. But the difference, one of the differences I've noticed, right, is that recently reaction channels now, Andy, you have your own podcast, right?
Yep.
And you've been doing some reactions, right?
We've done one. We got another one coming up. Yep.
So the thing with reaction channels is that when they do music ones, it's hit and miss, right? But I've seen I Maiden ones, right, where people are listening to Paul songs and they're like professional singer, or like, was it opera singer listens to Iron Maiden, right?
Right.
And they listen to Paul and they're like, oh, this is really, really good. Good range there. But when they listen to Bruce, they're like, go back again. It's just the quality and insaneness of Bruce's voice is like Bruce made the band massive and Paul made them get to that point. Because this is another thing about being in a band, right? If I'm in a band with 5 people, 100%, there's always 2 people, 1 or 2 people who run the band, do everything, write everything, right? But the other members, guys, they're still coming to practice. They're still paying the money to, bring the gear, turn up, learn the songs, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you don't get to these places without those people in the early days, you know?
Of course, yeah.
You gotta, like, you could say, oh, I could have done that. Yeah, but you fucking didn't. That person, like, for example, in my band, right? We needed a bass player. We didn't have anyone.
Yeah.
My friend Ed is a great guy. He's a guitar player. He's not a bass player. He's a guitar player. But I said, can you help us out? He's like, yeah. He spent the whole time learning the songs. He bought a bass. He came to practice every week.
Yeah.
Right? Now, yes, there are better bass players out there, but it doesn't matter. He's the one who did it.
Yeah.
And you got to value those things. Great personality, easy to work with, that's the type of person you want in the band. Paul Di'Anno, good singer, but just too many issues. Too many things happen.
You don't need that.
Dennis Stratton apparently was terrible.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
You have to value these things, and Bruce Dickinson, not only is he insanely world class, but he's reliable, looks after himself, and he's just an amazing guy,
He wanted to be there.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, guys, let us know anything you would like to contribute to the podcast and email us at listentoimaidenbaby@gmail.com.
And another thank you for the email from Denmark.
That's right, Michael.
Do we do a shout out?
Oh, do you want to do a shout out? Okay, where's he from? Let's do it, shall we? So this guy, his name is Michael Ruiz from Denmark. He didn't say where he's from though, right? So let's go from there. Scream for me, Michael.
Scream for me, Denmark!
Denmark, it's Michael Ruiz. He's gonna get you. When Michael comes into your room, he's gonna.
What? Hang on. Michael, thanks for the email, man.
Don't go into my room.
No, don't. Stay out of Ashley's room.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's more from.
All right, let's go to Ashley. Ashley.
No, we're not going to meet. We're going to say bye-bye. All right, guys. See you next time.
Take it easy.
Hey, relax, guy.